You know, a lot of folks are like, oh my gosh, like you have 5 generations of legacy, like that's a lot of pressure to carry on.
The life that we lead is a lonely road.
My name is Mei Lum. I'm 28 years old, and I'm the 5th generation owner of Huang Co. There isn't a place like this that exists anymore. And these stores, there were so many of them, but now we're the only ones.
When I was growing up, I'm 64 this year, every other store sold some porcelain. They always had something special, something different.
I took over in May of 2016. My family was at a pivotal moment with the business. It was a very natural decision to make. And I always grew up here helping stock the shelves, working the cash register, being a small business in Chinatown. It ended up being really hard for my grandparents to change with the times. I think that social media and having a website has really changed our reach. Being able to use something like Instagram or Facebook to tie in the history of the shop. We definitely see people in their 20s and 30s coming in and being really interested in stocking their new homes with different wares. It's been really fun to engage my grandmother in modeling certain things or like, you know, taking sips out of like a teacup. She has caught on and knows that I use them for Instagram now. But I think she understands why I'm doing it. It's even beyond what she has imagined. So I think all of those different facets have really helped us. A lot of these patterns hold nostalgic memories for the folks that come in, like the Wanshou Wujiang or the Linglong. All those things are tied back to childhood memories and family histories. Cabbage is like my ultimate favorite pattern. The detail in the leaves and how much time it took for the painter to draw the veins. It's very complex and like multi-dimensional. This pattern is one of the first patterns my grandmother sourced. I would say this one as well. So probably like 50 plus years old. So the way that my grandparents sourced all the porcelain in the shop was taking annual trips to Hong Kong. They visited different showrooms, so they were able to have a curated experience, pick things, and then have the quantities packaged in crates and then shipped over to New York on a boat. And now what we're doing is going straight to the source in Jingdezhen, which is known as the porcelain capital in China, and we're visiting different small workshops and studios and meeting the people behind these places. The people that come through to the shop, they might have no idea about the history of Chinese porcelain. And what we try to do is contextualize all of our pieces and educate our audience, because that's really important to us. We're working against certain stereotypes like Chinese manufactured goods are cheap in quality and cheap in price. No, this is not actually true. These are made by people. They spend a lot of time painting these peaches. Nate and I have gone into like storage apartments where like there's just boxes of things and like rummaging through that and cleaning off lots of dirt because they haven't been touched by anybody. It's harder to find top quality, older patterned porcelain these days because there aren't a lot of studios that are willing to invest in hiring painters to paint all these intricate designs anymore. A lot of these things could be seen as like antique or old for a previous generation. Without updating and being able to market to a younger audience, it's hard for these businesses to survive. A big question is, what's the future of business? I think Huang has proven that there is a future for this and there's a way to tie it back into our culture and identity, to have those conversations and to also educate people about why this craft still should be valued. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, we've got more on our channel about Chinese porcelain. including one where we went into the factory that makes the blue and white bowls you saw earlier in the video.